You know that feeling when you finish a whole day and you're exhausted, but when you look back, you're not actually sure what you did. You answered a ton of emails, you went to a couple of meetings, you touched 5 different projects. You scrolled Slack, TikTok, Instagram, maybe checked your bank app once or twice. And somehow, the one thing that actually mattered today didn't happen. You close your laptop at 6 or 7 p.m. and think, I was busy all day. Why does nothing feel done? If you've ever looked at your to-do list at night and realized you did 14 small tasks, but avoided the one scary, important task, you're not alone. If you've ever sat down to be productive and somehow spent an hour organizing your Notion, cleaning your inbox, tweaking your resume font, but not moving the needle on anything real, yeah, this is for you. Because your problem is not that you lack discipline. It's not that you have no focus. It's not that you need more motivation videos. Your problem is that you don't have a filter. You treat every task like it's equal, so your day fills up with stuff that feels productive but doesn't actually change your life. Your brain is doing what most brains do. It chooses what is easy, urgent, and immediately rewarding over what is important, uncomfortable, and long-term. You're not broken, your system is. So I want to give you a simple tool, a must-do filter. One question you can ask that quietly 10x's your daily output over time, not by working 10x more hours, but by putting your limited energy on the right things. The question is this: if I only did one thing today, what would actually move my life forward? That's your must-do filter. Not what's due today, not what did someone just email me about, not what's easiest to check off in the next 5 minutes, but if I only did one thing today, what would actually move my life, my career, my money, or my growth forward? That question does 3 things. First, it forces you to separate busy work from meaningful work. Second, it forces you to choose. Third, it gives your brain a clear target for the day. When you don't use a filter, your day gets decided by notifications. When you do use it, your day gets decided by you. Let's break this down into simple rules. Rule number 1, start your day with the must-do question. Most people start their day inside their email or inside their phone. You wake up, grab your phone, and your brain instantly goes into reaction mode. Email from your boss, text from a friend, news alert, DMs, a notification from your bank that does not help your anxiety, a TikTok someone sent at 2 a.m. By the time you're done just checking, your mind is already scattered. You're playing catch-up on other people's priorities. So here's the shift. Before you dive into email, Slack, or social media, you ask yourself one thing. If I only did one meaningful thing today, what would actually move my life matter? And you write that answer down. On a sticky note, in your Notes app, on the back of a receipt, doesn't matter. One sentence, one task. This is not your whole to-do list. This is your must-do. For example, if you're in a 9-to-5, finish the first draft of that client proposal, ship the slide deck for Thursday's meeting, have the hard conversation with my manager. If you're in college, write the rough draft of my essay, do one full practice exam, book 30 minutes with my advisor. If you're working on a side hustle, publish one product page, outline one YouTube video, reach out to 3 potential clients. Tiny action. Tomorrow morning, before email, before social, ask the question and write down one must-do for the day. Not 5, not 10, 1. Rule number 2. Your must-do must be a needle mover, not a chore. Here's where your brain will try to cheat. You'll ask, if I only did one thing today, and your brain will say, clean my inbox, organize my Google Drive, reformat my resume again, make a new Notion dashboard. Those things might feel productive, but they don't actually change your life. So here's a simple test. A must-do is usually connected to a real goal, money, health, career, relationships, learning. Either creates something new or moves something important forward. Would still matter in 3 months. A must-do is usually not purely cosmetic or organizational, something you can do on autopilot while half watching Netflix, something that only matters for the next 10 minutes. Ask yourself, if I do this today, would future me actually care? If the answer is yes, you're probably looking at a must-do. If the answer is not really, but it feels good to check off, it's probably busy work. Example: replying to email is necessary, but zero inbox is rarely your must-do. Finishing your portfolio site, that might actually change your opportunities over the next few months. Studying 1 hour for your certification exam might matter more than reorganizing your notes for the 5th time. Tiny action. Every time you write a must-do, add one line under it. Why this matters in 3 months. If you can't answer that in one sentence, it's probably not the right must-do. Rule number 3. Shrink your must-do until it's actually doable today. Here's the trap. You identify your must-do, but you write it down as something huge, like build my entire website, study for the MCAT, fix my finances. Your brain sees that and says, absolutely not, let's just scroll instead. So you want your must-do to be meaningful, but also small enough that your tired, stressed, real-world self can do it on a random Tuesday. That's where a simple follow-up question comes in. What is the smallest meaningful version of this I can finish today? Not sometime this month, today. If your must-do is work on my website, the smallest meaningful version might be write the About page draft. If your must-do is study for finals, the smallest meaningful version might be review chapters 3 and 4 practice questions. If your must-do is grow my side hustle, the smallest meaningful version might be send one pitch email to a potential client. You're still choosing something that matters, you're just shaving it down until it's something you can complete in 30 to 90 minutes instead of 6 hours. Tiny action. Every time you write a must-do, ask, can I finish this today, even on a busy day? If the answer is no, make it smaller until it becomes a clean, finishable chunk. Rule number 4. Do your must-do before you earn the right to do busy work. This is where the 10x part really kicks in. Most days you start with easy work, email, Slack, messages, admin, getting organized. Your brain loves that stuff because it's fast, you get little hits of dopamine, and you feel productive without actually risking anything. But here's the problem. Busy work eats your best energy. By the time you get to the important thing, you're mentally done. So we flip the order. You don't have to finish your must-do at 6 a.m., but you do commit to this rule. No busy work before the must-do gets at least some focused time. It can be 20 minutes, it can be 45, you decide.
But you pay your must-do first. Just like rent comes out of your paycheck before you go shopping, your must-do gets first claim on your attention before you let notifications rent space in your head. For a 9 to 5, this could look like you sit down at your desk. You don't open email for the first 30 minutes. You only work on your must-do task during that block. For a student, you get to the library or your desk. Before you open group chat or Canvas, you set a 25-minute timer and only work on your must-do. For a side hustler with a full-time job, you give your must-do 30 focused minutes right after dinner before opening YouTube, games, or social media. Tiny action? Decide on a must-do window for tomorrow, maybe the first 25 to 45 minutes after you start work or study. Make a simple rule. No email, no social, no admin until this window is done. Rule number 5. Let one question run your day. At any point during the day, you're going to get distracted. You'll hit a boring part of your must-do and feel the itch to check your phone. You'll want to escape into easier tasks. This is where your must-do filter becomes a script. Anytime you catch yourself drifting, ask, is what I'm doing right now my must-do? If yes, great, you're on track. If no, you have a choice. Either gently come back to the must-do or make a conscious decision that you're taking a break. But you stop pretending that scrolling is kind of work. You stop lying to yourself about just getting organized when you're really avoiding the hard thing. That one question brings you back to what you said mattered. Tiny action? Write your must-do on a sticky note or as your phone lock screen. Add the line, "Is this what I'm doing right now?" Use it as your quick reality check when you feel yourself drifting. Now, let's put all of this into a real person. Meet Alex. Alex is 27. He works a full-time job in marketing. He lives with a roommate, pays too much rent, and is trying to grow a small freelance design side hustle on the side. On paper, he's busy. He has a full calendar. His Slack is always popping. He answers emails quickly. He shows up to meetings. But at the end of the week, he feels stuck. His promotion at work is always next quarter. His side hustle portfolio is half done. He has a list of ideas, but nothing shipped. His days are full, but his progress is thin. One Friday night, he's doom-scrolling productivity content and sees a line. "You're not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You're overwhelmed because you don't know what actually matters." That hits a nerve. He realizes he's living in reaction mode. Whoever shouts the loudest, Slack, email, friends, notifications, gets his attention. So he decides to try something radical but tiny. For 1 week, he's going to pick one must-do every day. Day 1, Monday morning. Before opening Slack, he asks, "If I only did one thing today, what would actually move my life forward?" The first answer that comes to mind is finish my portfolio case study for the Jones project. He writes down, "Must do, finish Jones case study draft." Under it, he writes, "Why this matters in 3 months? I need this in my portfolio to land better freelance clients." He realizes he's been meaning to work on it for weeks. He looks at his calendar and blocks off 9 to 9:30 a.m. No Slack, no email, just that. At 9 a.m., his brain screams, "Check Slack first, it'll only take a minute." He doesn't. He opens his notes and works on the case study. He doesn't finish all of it in 30 minutes, but he gets 80% of the draft done. That night, he still feels tired, but when he thinks about his day, there's one clear win. I moved something that actually matters. Day 2, Tuesday. Same question in the morning. If I only did one thing today, what would actually move my life forward? Answer? Have a one-on-one with my manager about what I need to do to get promoted this year. He writes, "Must do, schedule and prep for promotion convo." He books the meeting, jots down talking points. That's it. Takes maybe 25 minutes total. Not comfortable, but life-changing potential. Day 3, Wednesday. Must do, sent 2 outreach emails for freelance work. He'd been waiting to feel ready for months. Now it's simply today's must-do. 7 days later, something weird happens. He's still busy, he still has emails, he still gets pulled into random Slack threads. But when he looks back at his week, he has 1 almost finished portfolio case study, a promotion conversation scheduled, 4 outreach emails sent, 1 new client call booked. Not because he worked more hours, because he picked one thing a day that actually mattered and did it before everything else. That's the must-do filter in action. So here's your mini challenge. For the next 7 days, you're going to test this on yourself. Not as a perfect system, just as an experiment. Every day, step 1, ask the must-do question. In the morning, before you disappear into other people's priorities, ask, "If I only did one thing today, what would actually move my life forward?" Step 2, write down one clear must-do. Make it a needle mover, not a chore. And under it, write, "Why this matters in 3 months." Step 3, shrink it until it fits. Turn it into something you can realistically finish today, even in 30 to 90 minutes. Step 4, pay your must-do first. Give it a protected block of time, 20, 30, or 45 minutes before you dive into email, social, or admin. Step 5, use the question as your filter. Anytime you're drifting, ask, "Is what I'm doing right now my must-do?" If not, choose. Come back or consciously take a break. 7 days, 7 must-dos, 7 small, very real steps forward. You don't need to become a different person by Monday. You don't need to run on hustle or beat yourself up for every distraction.
You just need one better question. You are not lazy. You are not flaky. You are not bad at being consistent. You are a person who's been drowning in tasks without a filter. Once you change the filter, your output changes. If this resonated, I want you to lock it in with one sentence. Type this in the comments. I'm becoming the kind of person who does my must-do first. Not I'll try, not maybe one day. I'm becoming the kind of person who does my must-do first. If you want more calm, realistic, 1% better systems like this, no fake hustle, no screaming, just habits that fit a real life with rent, student loans, 9-to-5s, and side hustles, hit subscribe to the 1% Focus. Tap like so this reaches someone who's tired of being busy and ready to be effective. And share this with a friend who always says, I worked all day but got nothing done. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited. But with the right must-do filter, your results don't have to be.